What's up guys, this is Just Driven and welcome back to Space Engineers. We are in a strange place and we are in creative. So the reason that we're in creative and building a ship is that I began to feel a bit bad about the whole, let's put in a new ship in our world, but you've never seen where it came from, you didn't know anything about it, but here it is anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of creative building. It's always a pain in the arse to get this to exactly the number you want. There you go, 70's fine. Not actually specifically what I wanted. I'll probably end up deleting this and letting it float off into space, but hey, this is good enough for now. So I'm going to go ahead and build a ship with you now, and probably a lot of it's going to be cut through. And the reason for this is just because it makes everything a lot easier. So I'm going to build a ship, but you're not going to see most of it. You're just going to see some of it. See where it started from, where it went. The basic description of this ship is that I want a new mining ship. I want something with a little bit more storage, a little bit more ease of use, and a lot more power. Additionally, I'd like it to look a little bit better. I'm kind of sick of the appearance of our current one. I'd theoretically like it if it's a little bit more efficient, but there's lots of things that may change as we go on, but mainly the requirements are more power, access to a med bay so I don't have to keep dying and getting back. I'd like a small ship that connects to it that also has a jump drive. Now I don't think small ships have jump drives. I think this is a mod that I'm thinking of, so I may have to install that mod in the meantime, but I'd like a small ship that can connect and that can sort of slip in and look like it's part of the same ship. And that's basically it. I'd also like it to have, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I'd like to have a walkway. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and we'll cut in as I keep going, and hopefully we'll have something nice to show for the end of this. Okay, so I'm cutting back in here because I like the way this ship has gone so far. It's a little bit weird. There's like this little weird conjoining thing here where the bottom set of pipes connects to the top, because I've set the conveyors a little bit off center from each other. Not the conveyors, sorry, the cargo containers, for the sake of having it a bit of a different shape rather than a bit squarish. But I like so far how it's looking. We've got this walkway, not airtight because of all these, well, I'm assuming because of all these little gaps. Haven't tested yet. Maybe these gaps aren't real gaps, they're just fake gaps. We'll see after I built it whether it's airtight, but probably not. So I've just kind of copied and pasted it and put one side here and here. These two aren't connected yet. They will be connected. I wanted to have this kind of feeling where you could walk through it. There's no gravity. You could walk through it and look down into the bowels of the ship. But the bowels of the ship aren't that big, so there's not really much to look down into. You can look down into space a little bit if you sort of lean over a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with this, but I wanted to cut in because I think I've found the overall design theme of this ship, and it's going to be a little bit industrial, well, very industrial actually, and I'm thinking that something I might like is to have two gravity orientations. So it's a bit weird, but I'm thinking I'd like to have gravity working, obviously from this area, like this, as if this was the floor, and then as you come down into the forward, what is it called? The front of the ship, you go like this, and then you're looking upwards into this like that. Well, it's hard in Space Engineers. You're looking upwards like this, but I'll tell you what, I'll do this. You're looking upwards like that into that area. And then, well, I don't know. I like the idea of having a bit of a transition. So we'll see what I do in the end. But right now we're just looking at this guy's crotch. So, or I guess it's my crotch, theoretically. So, so let's stop doing that. But that's how I'm kind of thinking. I'm thinking of having a bit of a bulbous head on this guy, and then I think it's going to be. I remember seeing a ship. It was actually very similar to this. I hope it doesn't look like I'm copying, but I remember seeing a ship that had a timer system for having one drill on the front that had, well, actually it was some amount of drills on the front which had rotors which were timed to create a perfect circle which the ship would then go through. So I'm thinking that I might design the front of this, the drills, so that it does it all automatically, because that is what I really want, an automated ship. Does it all automatically, and most importantly that it rotates the drills in a circle around the ship to create a hole wide enough for the ship to go through without damaging itself, and that it does it all automatically. So I'm going to go ahead and try and set that up, but we're going to cut back in, because I'll do that as the last thing, because it'll take a while. We're going to cut back in when this ship is a bit more complete, but so far, I'm really liking it. The engine pods are always a bit of a difficult thing for me, so we'll see about where I'm putting the engines. But so far, I'm actually pretty happy with this, even though it's all grey and there's nothing there yet. I'm quite happy with it. So, I will see you in a second when this has a bit more to it, but so far, I like it. Okay, well, there is a ship. And it's a pretty good ship, actually. I'm actually rather happy with it. There's maybe some things that should be changed on it. Didn't necessarily work out exactly the way I wanted it, but it never does. Nothing ever quite does. But let's take a look inside, shall we? So there's an entrance here at the back, and This is the first time where I've done a ship where I'm actually happy with the way the back looks, and that's because usually I tend to just put engines at the side in pods, but and that is because I never like this configuration of having them just at the back. But because the ship is so always the same shape, so uniform, I really like these guys just sticking at the end here, and they're sort of a little bit set in, which is nice. So let's take a look. There's gravity, which is always a nice thing. There we go. I've never actually heard the sound of these doors because I tend to build without my headphones on. That's kind of cool. Okay, so this is the interior of the ship. We've seen this stuff before. You can just about, well, you can jump down into space if you really want to. Not sealed off, and that's because this is not really meant for crew to be in for a long time. And, well, actually, I suppose none of it's meant for crew to be in because it's kind of just a mining vessel. You're only supposed to be here for a little while. But, well, I'm quite happy with it. It looks better from above. Oops, got stuck under there. Looks better from above, but I do like underneath that you can see all this piping. Well, the piping that goes to there, and then from over there. There's no piping going in between here, which is kind of stupid. But I'm pretty sure it all connects up. I think that there's a connection. Yeah, there's a connection between here. So all these containers are all connected up. The gravity is here for this section, and then the computers that are on here, you might not see them because they're microcomputers, but they're here, are to control the drill at the front, which we're going to go have a look at in a second. So, I'm pretty happy with this interior. I've got the gravity set pretty low because it saves power, and because you just need to be able to stick to the floor. That's all really. But yeah, I like it. It's got a kind of a very industrial theme. There's no air, obviously, but hey. So let's go ahead and go into the main area, like so. Okay, so this is, like I said, the main area. Here is the computer that controls the drill at the front. There's no window here. I need to just go and put that in. There's a couple of other places that I've missed. This place isn't airtight as far as I know, even with the correct windows in the correct places, but what a shame. Well, yeah, this is the computer that controls the drill. Over here is a med bay, which is quite handy. This is just a little feature, just to stop things from being all flat square. And over here are the drill controls. And let me just go back up there, just show you this transition. If you run down here, I don't know if it'll kill you or not when you're not in creative. Probably will kill you. If you run down here, you flip to the lower gravity and fall down. And a couple times I've managed to do... Wait, here we go. I've managed to do this cool thing where you flip and then you do a backflip and land at the door, which is quite fun. But otherwise, that's not why I spent all this time building this ship. So you flip down here, and then this section is completely different to the rest of the ship. And I really like this transition to a completely different level of controlling it. And up here, I think this was designed so that you could, if theoretically with only minimal jetpack, if you can actually get up here, is that you could fly to here and you'll be in this gravity section pretty quickly. So that if you wanted to, it's hopefully a little bit less of a fall. Yeah, well, roughly the same. Anyway, that's the design of the ship. Let me show you the drill, which is the really fun thing about this ship. I'm going to go outside for that. Okay, I've just put in this little control here so that you can see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. I'll take it off afterwards, I promise. So, if I hit start of the mining script, it should be 1.5 rotations. This, by the way, isn't my script. I'll show you the ship that this script came from first. I've just modified it like a tiny bit, but basically it's exactly the same, and doesn't actually quite work the way I've done it, and I'm not sure if that's my fault or the script's fault. Probably mine. So then it adjusts itself out a tiny bit, continues around. It should do another rotation, which I'll probably cut in between so that you can see. And there you go. It's gone ahead and done the next one, and it should do that all the way out to here, to the very edge, which you'll see in just a second. There we go. It's converted out to the edge, and this should make a perfect circle that's big enough for this ship to pass through, and it theoretically could push its way through an asteroid. The problem is, it's supposed to reset now, because if I show you the script, which is in here, so when this gets to this angle, 87 degrees, or greater than 87 degrees, which it should be at right now, they're both at 90, it's supposed to be triggered to hit the reset, which is, by the way, what this does. Resets it back to here and stops the drills and stuff like that. It's supposed to do that automatically, although I've actually broken it a little bit. I'm going to fix this stuff before we actually use it, but, well, I'm going to try to. It's supposed to be automatically resetting itself there and then restarting the mining process so that it turns around. That way it should make a perfectly cylindrical tunnel and do it automatically and move back and so on. But, well, it doesn't. So the script is perfectly fine. I'm sure it's just something I've messed up, and I'm going to make that work. Although if I show you the Pariah, which is the original ship of this, it should be somewhere nearby. Where's the Pariah? Hey? Hey? Ah, there it is. If I show you the Pariah, I think it's got the same problem. It's this ship here, very cool ship. So look, you'll notice that it's almost exactly the same. I've just added 2 drills there, and those, by the way, are to make sure that there's nothing for the ship to bang into if anything goes wrong. So long as the main rotor is turning, the ship should be just about clear, but they basically serve no purpose. Let me show you the Pariah. Not my ship. I'm just showing it off a little tiny bit so that no one thinks I stole it, because really it was just someone else's very good idea and very cool execution that I've taken advantage of. Gravity doesn't work in here because of me. So, you hit... This is the reset. So mining start must be over here. Yeah, you hit the start and it does the same thing. It turns, and when it gets to the right point, it'll rotate. It's much nicer than my ship. Much more bright, much more futury. Man's a bit grungy, and I like that. And then it forces itself forward and starts the process again. Yeah. So it's a little bit better off than mine, although I think this script has gone a little bit wrong over the years, because this was released a year ago. So it might have changed a small amount, because I don't think it should be flying forward when it pushes like that. So there's a small problem, I think, with it, but otherwise this is a really cool script. Not my script. Cool ship, not my ship. But now you know. So there we go. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it, so it's not going to cause any lag or anything like that. But it's called the Pariah. I'll try and put a link to it on the Steam Workshop now. Hopefully there's a link on the screen there. If there wasn't, well, my bad. And someone remind me. So this is our ship. Let me go ahead and take that off. There are no air things. Airlocks. No airlocks, because I took them off for the sake of getting in more easily and out more easily, but I'm going to go ahead and put them on now, just like that, and then the other side. And I might as well fix this window. So yeah, I'll fix this window and then we'll see if the whole thing's airtight. But I'm pretty sure it's not. So, you know, don't get your hopes up, guys and girls. Okay, there you go. That window's fixed. I actually also, by the way, I'm just going to quickly mention, I rather like the appearance of this ship from the front. The drills are a little bit ugly, and that's because I kind of find Space Engineers drills and the way that rotors are set up a little bit ugly anyway. You can't really make things flow together because obviously if anything that's not on the same rotor is touching, like for example if you had metal right up to here and then there was a gap and there was metal here, they would jam up, but oh well. So I don't find the drill very nice, but I find the rest of the ship quite attractive. I might add some more colour because it's a little bit miserable. I don't think I really want it to be all black. I just wanted it to look a bit grungy. So, well, I'm pretty happy with the ship so far. It's a bit weird only that the doors are the wrong way up for the gravity here. But other than that, I'm quite happy with it. So let me just stop the drilling, and this is why there are drill controls over here. There we go. Hit that. And it should reset. Yeah, it's resetting. There we go. So, that is our new ship. Oh, wait, we can check if it's airtight, actually. No, not airtight. That's a problem. See, I blocked up the window and it's not airtight. Oh, well, that's one of the things we wanted this ship to be, but if it's not going to be that, that's fine. Ah, you know what I forgot? I forgot a small ship to fit in a small place on the front of this. So, I may design that next, or maybe we'll just go straight to the episode next. But, well, the start of this episode has been a nice little view to making a new mining ship. And we do need a new mining ship because I'm really unhappy with the old one, and I get kind of bored of stuff. So let's go ahead and go back to our Let's Play. This is the ship that we'll be using now for mining as soon as it's built. So I think this Let's Play will be building a shipyard to build this in, but also I've got to go get some resources because we're out of resources. Ah, and this is where we're going to put our small ship. It's going to fit right here. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but I wanted a small ship for jumping to and from the mining operation. So I think I'm going to make a small ship that fits just here. But we're not going to do that right now, though we will be doing it in future. So I'm going to see you in a second back in our Let's Play. Oh, wait, one more thing. We have to name it. So, the former ship was called the Pariah, and I wanted to, like, pay tribute to that, and I was going to call it, like, the Pariah 2, which would be very unoriginal and probably a little bit, you know, thieving. But, you know, I like the name Pariah. I'm not going to call it Pariah. I think, oh, I'm missing a block there, it looks like. How did that happen? Let's just quickly fix that. There you go, and paint the whole thing black. Perfect. I'm going to change the colours. I'm going to add some nicer colours probably in the future. Let's call it the Mariah. I'm going to call it the Mariah. It's just not like Mariah Carey, just like the letter M and then the word Araya without a P on the front of it. Okay, well, this is the Mariah. Welcome into the world, Mariah. And yes, do not give me any credit for its construction because basically it's just my own design at the back. And then these very clever rotors, which are kind of the heart of the ship, are someone else's business. So very thank you much to the person who designed the rotor system. And well, you'll be in our Let's Play from now on. Okay, now let's get back to the Let's Play. Okay, here we are. We're mining a bit, and that is because we are basically out of silver. I mentioned it last episode. There is no silver left in our base, and that is a shame because silver is very handy and very important for lots of things. So, there's no silver in this asteroid either. There is basically just platinum and iron. So I'm leaving this guy getting some iron, although I bet he's really full up. Let me just have a check. Yeah, I mean, nearly 2,000 iron ore. Let's leave it going until like 2,500, and then we'll go somewhere else with our ship. Screw it, I got impatient. It's been literally 2 seconds since I said that I'd leave it for a while. I'll actually turn the drills back on just while we pull out. And then we're going to teleport to... Actually, I think we were clipped through the asteroid there. We're going to teleport to... Gosh, the lag on this world is so awful. We're going to well, not teleport. We're going to go to somewhere that I think might have some iron, and that is somewhere where we have gold. Because, I don't know, for some reason I think that gold is close to silver, so maybe it's close to its... Well, we'll see. Let's go over there and have a check. Off we go. Apparently we're going in that direction. Maybe I should just move so we're not... Oh, over there! I really feel like you should suffer some sort of penalty if you're not facing the direction that you intend to go when you warp. Where is my gold? I mean, I guess it's in the nearest... Oh, it must be up there. Let's go have a look. This looks like the sort of place where you'd have silver, right? I may have actually already checked here off camera. I'm not sure. I think we don't have any silver. Let's go to that asteroid. That looks like promising. Just have a glance in there as we're passing. That really does look like just gold and iron. Okay, let's go over here. I think actually I came here last time for gold, and I didn't find any silver in that asteroid. So let's hope this asteroid has some, because I don't really want to go looking all over the solar system to find silver. Any silver in here? It should be telling me soon. Ah, we've got cobalt, which we already have a lot of. There's gold over there I can see. Let's go in and have a look ourselves. Lots of iron, lots of cobalt that I can see. Gold over there. We could also probably use some silicon, actually. Stone, and maybe that's a little vein of silicon. No, stone too. All stone. I tell you what, maybe we'll just hop back when I've got some iron or some silver or whatever I'm looking for. You'd think if there's a big blob of gold, you'd think there'd be a blob of silver nearby, just for the sake of, like, I don't know, universal harmony. Let's chuff on and see if we can find something better. Oh wow, that's why we're having a bit of lag. Well, not all of the lag, but some of the lag came from the fact that a Crospian battlecruiser, which sounds horrifying, just spawned in. And I'm so desperate to go take a look at it. I'm not going to do it in our mining ship, because this is really all we have left. But I'm totally going to... No! Well, I really want to have a look. Let's go over to this asteroid, which happens to be in the same direction. And we'll see if we get anything there. Okay, we haven't got any silver as of yet, but this asteroid has some nickel, so I'm going to make a brief stop to get this. Oh, there's uranium in that little tiny asteroid, so I might go for that too, just while we're here. Because I think I could probably eat that whole asteroid in one sitting, so we might have a go for it. And it looks like there's an interior to this little tiny asteroid, so I might go and have a little shufty, and we'll see what's going on. Let's quickly set you to work, and it's gonna appear over the horizon just as I'm having a look inside this asteroid. Looks like there might actually be a... Oh no! Did I just blow something up? I think I lost the drill. I lost the drill. Oh, you idiot. Okay. Let's set it going anyway. And we'll see how much damage we did. At least it wasn't all the drills. Looks like I didn't lose a drill. Okay, well, I'm fine with that too. I retract my statement that I'm an idiot this time, but we'll see afterwards. I might come and grab this uranium just because it's nice to be here already. I tell you what, we'll definitely see each other again only when I find silver. Aha! Okay, so silver, great. This is the only asteroid I've found. I've actually only been 2 asteroids since we last saw each other. This is the only asteroid I've found that's got silver in, so now I can just make a note of it, because I think nickel I've already got down. Silver might be one of the few things that I haven't already found a location for. So while we're out in the asteroid belt, which is what I'm calling this, by the way, even though it's not even remotely beltish. Well, I don't know, actually. I've never seen it from far enough away. While we're out in the asteroid belt, these are going to be our... Well, in my way of organising, these are our resources. What I do is, and I don't know if I actually ever told anyone, is I just make a quick note on my GPS of where each resource is, so that I can set a jump location. And I'm going to, while I'm leaving this to drill, I'm going to set a jump location a bit further out from this asteroid than, you know, the centre, because that would be kind of dangerous and terrifying. I'm going to set a jump location just in a second as soon as this is off and running. We did lose a drill, by the way. I had a check. We've lost like 2 drills actually. So when we get back, I'll put this on. I'll set the projection to go so that this can be built or repaired rather. So that's mining up some silver. I just want to check. I saw a cool looking tunnel. Oh, okay, there's a nice looking tunnel here. this would be a nice place for a base. I've got very fond memories of a donut-shaped asteroid just like this, where I built a very good base once, or a base that I liked a lot. So I always am fond of them. So let's just make a quick note a bit further out. There we go. Oh, my oxygen's almost gone, so I might actually have the ship jump back, because otherwise I won't ever see it again, because I don't even know where this asteroid... Oh, I suppose I've just made a GPS note. Never mind. But still, when we've got a good amount when we've got a good amount of stuff, I'm going to have this guy jump to me. Let me just check our inventory. Okay, I'm scared of dying, which I guess is fairly common. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel this, and hopefully I'll have time to jump home before I die. If I can just set the jump to home. There we go. And go ahead and... Okay, so when I die, it'll still be able to jump. Maybe I'll die mid-jump, that'd be nice. And kind of weird. Okay, I made it back. Maybe I can turn us to home first. Before I... Nope, okay, I died. Ah, this medical room is still functioning miraculously. That's amazing. I'm really glad that this thing's being deconstructed, because it means our base is being constructed a little bit more. So, where is our ship? Oh, well, there's our body location. That'll probably work. Why can't I control my ship from here? You know what? I'm just going to build a quick antenna so that I should be able to just bring this ship in manually. I'm going to stick it where I stick everything, in the middle here, because I deserve an antenna. You know what? I've been talking about making a communications area. Actually, I don't think I've ever brought that up, but I do want to make a communications area. I've been talking about making a communications area forever, and I still haven't built a bloody antenna. So there you go. We've got an antenna now. This has not been deconstructed, which is a little bit bothersome, but they're all turned red, which is nice. I haven't even... Nothing has been taken from it. Nothing. I guess it's got bigger priorities for now. Are you being built? Looks like it. I'm going to get ready to control the ship. It hasn't got a camera. Of course I can't control the ship. But I should be able to access the station from a little bit outside, so I can probably see the ship. Okay, that's going to use up a pretty significant chunk of power. But hopefully I can... Yeah, okay. I can access it now, which means I But why can't I... Okay, well, that's another problem for another day. I do want to set up... I've realised now the reason I can't access it is because I deleted the thing before checking where it was, so now I don't know where it was. Is that it? That doesn't look like it. I mean, okay, actually, it's probably just at home. It's at the home. Now I know. Okay, it's over there. Jolly good. Yeah, I need to... See, look, still no bloody robotic arms. I need to... Oh, it's not here. Where is it? Where's that ship? Guys, did anyone see this ship? Oh, bloody hell. Okay. Well, our ship's gone for a wander. It's got an antenna, but I'm not sure how far it's projecting. It should be exactly here. A little bit scared because that's the only mining ship we've got. That looks kind of like it over there, amongst the raiding stations. Why did this happen? When I died, did it prevent it from teleporting? Is it about to teleport, but because I'm no longer in the area, has it stopped happening? Oh god. The thing is, I've set the distance to 50,000 kilometers, so if it's anywhere near me, I would have been able to sense it. So let's head over in the direction of the Grossbean. Oh, I tell you what, it's where silver. If it's not at home, it's where silver is. Why am I so stupid today? If it's not at home, it's where silver is. So let's go ahead and go to silver now that I have that point on my GPS. It's all the way over there, so I will see you in like 20 minutes. So I'm at silver, and there is no giant spaceship, or even medium-sized spaceship. I'm not trying to big up my spaceships, but seriously, no spaceship. What the hell? So I realized that, of course, I would be able to detect it on my radar if it was... Not my radar, but I should make a radar. That'd be really helpful. I should be able to see it from my ship, because look, I can see all the way over there. By which I mean, of course, with my my antenna. This is a job for Space Engineer's Toolbox, because I have no idea where it's gone. I must have clicked the wrong button. So I'll tell you what, let's fix this situation, then we'll be back. Okay, we are going back to the base because I've checked on some possible signals using the what's it called? You know, the tool for doing that. The Space Engineer's Toolbox. Great. And it turns out quite a few things in this world are a little bit weird. That's a very general statement, but specifically about space engineers, there's this weird static grid over here, which maybe is not a static grid, maybe is actually something floating off, which was once a static grid. We never know. And then there's the same thing over here somewhere. That's silver. There's another static grid somewhere that's a bit weird, and I've just called them both weird static grid. We'll find out what they are at some point. There's a combat destroyer over there, which could be something I've left, could be something, I have no idea. But it could be mine, maybe not. So at some point we'll go and check those out. There's definitely 2 static grids. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to find out what they are, and then I think that this stuff, there appears to be stuff all over this world. What I'm going to do is name everything that I own and want to keep, and then just delete the rest with Space Engineer's Toolbox to try and fix the lag. It's weird that there are so many things. I remember chucking stuff off into space, but I thought that I had trash removal on, or maybe it just didn't meet the criteria. Oh well, I'm going to do that anyway. I'm going to rename all our ships and stuff so that I can recognise them on the Space Engineer's Toolbox, and I'll delete everything else that's not an asteroid or a planet. Well, anyway, we'll be at the base in a second, and these are the 2 signals that I think are probably our miner, so I'm heading towards them. There's 2 quite close together, which is interesting. The reason I think they're ours is because they both have on them signals that look like the miner, so we'll go by close up and have a look, and hopefully they'll be there. Okay, so there's our home base, and here are the 2 signals that look like our drill. Quite close to home, but nowhere near close to... Let me see where the home signal leads us to. Yeah, home's over there. They're quite far out of home. There appears to be 2 signals, or maybe Space Engineers read them as 2 signals, but actually 1. They seem to be on the exact same spot. Oh, that's weird. They were reading as 2 different ships. So, but there's 1 ship here. Well, it's weird that it didn't go close to home. Anyway, this problem's solved. There was a lot of stuff in our Space Engineers game, and I'm going to fix that, but I had to go all the way and use the Space Engineers Toolbox to get it back. But now we have it, so we can get on with what I want to do next. Let me just get this home. There's a lot of repair work to be done here. Seems like we're missing a lot of stuff, which is a bit weird. Okay, we're all plugged in and everything's coming through, so now those resources should be turning up on our station, which will be handy. And once again, we have like 0 frames here, which is, a shame. So let's grab some iron plates and get started with what I actually want to do today. First, just make sure that nothing is showing up on the HUD, because it really annoys me. Okay, that's better. I just turned off all the signals. So I want some iron. I have some iron. Oh, actually, no, I forgot I have a ship. I have a ship exactly for doing this. Where's my ship? Where'd I leave it? You'd think I would have put it here, wouldn't you? But not here. Where did I leave that goddamn thing? There we go, I found it. It was actually just left right here, which is probably because I was commiserating over the fact that this isn't finished yet. And I have to wonder why it's not finished, because I must have enough iron to do this now, right? I mean, it's just iron blocks, or iron plate. Maybe these aren't actually... They're not connected. This is it. Wait, let's just take a second to connect them and see if that really is the problem. If they're not connected, then place it... Yeah, they're not connected. Oh, no. That's a real pain in the bum, because... I can't place stuff there. They're not the right alignment. I'll have to do all this again. Oh, wait, no. Looks like I can place that there. Are they connected? I mean, we'll see in a second. I tell you what, if I build them up, actually, and this one too, if they have a smooth edge, then they're connected. Okay, they're apparently connected. All this is apparently connected now. But I think it wasn't connected before, which was, I guess, what was causing the problem. So... yeah, okay, it's all being built. That was what the issue was. So that's nice to know. So the reason we're over here though, and the reason we wanted this ship back, is because I have this big cool drilling ship to build now, which you saw earlier, but I haven't got anywhere to put it. So I didn't get anywhere to build it anyway. What I'm thinking is that I'd like what they call a shipyard. I've got this big shiny drill ship. Lots of lag still. I've got this big shiny drill ship that I've got to build, and I have nowhere to build it. I've got lots of places that I want to put it, but nowhere to build it. So I'm thinking that I'd like to locate a suitable position on my base and just shove this big building contraption on there. So I'm looking at this space where we've got this hole here and thinking that it might be a nice spot to start off. Yeah, actually I do like that rather a lot. I'm going to put a shipbuilding area here. I think it's called a dry dock or a space dock or something like that. Let me just have a little bit of a look around, see if there's not anywhere better. Maybe underneath, or maybe even not attached. I mean, that'd be stupid because I'd have to ferry materials to it. But okay, you know what? It's going to be right here. After thinking about it just briefly, what is the point of this huge open section of this other than the fact that this is where you dock ships? So I'm going to make this whole area from this edge to this edge be a dry dock, or what I'm going to do for a dry dock. So let's get started with that. The first thing I'm going to need is a bunch of blocks. Well, obviously. What I mean is that I need a bunch of just plain iron blocks, so I've got somewhere to sort of start from. Okay, so I'm going to pick a sort of middle point, probably here, and... Oh, don't kill yourself. There we go. And I'm just going to start... Oh no, I want to actually connect it, make sure that it's connected, so I'm going to bring this up first, and then I'll delete it afterwards, but for now it's fine. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that it's connected here. And then there's a rough height that I want it to start, so it's probably going to come from the edge of this asteroid. Okay, yes, this will be the height, so now we have to build across to make sure that these things are both at the exact same level, because what I want is kind of 2 pillars either side, wide enough to place any size ship in between, because I can't imagine building a ship much larger than these 2 points here. So I think this is probably a fine place to start. And then we'll relocate a smaller dock that's not for ships that are being repaired to somewhere else. And I will just say that whenever a ship's here, it's here because also it needs some repair, which makes sense. Why would you have a big station like this if its job wasn't to repair ships? It just seems kind of pointless, other than the fact that, you know, it was built by someone who loves asteroids. So, well, okay, these are at the same level. Now I just need to make sure that it actually starts in the asteroid. We've actually done it at a pretty good height because this goes right back into the asteroid, right at the place where it stops. So let's just make sure this this comes in here. Okay, now I need to quickly... Oh, not too late. I was going to grind it off before it was too late, but lovely. Okay, now we can get back in here. I'll just try and give this a shove in the right direction so that we don't have a... This way I don't have to deal with it. You know, it's a bit of a hassle to go through and mine those all off. Yes, it's extremely wasteful. Who cares? I'm in space, and I'm the only person in space as far as I know. So, apart from, I guess, if you remember the start of this series, I theoretically had a crew that left me out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, no, actually, I think they all died. Yeah, they all died. They all died in a horrible warping mine explosion series of events, which is better left forgotten. Okay, that's gone. Now, I'm going to just give you a quick demonstration of how I want the edges of this thing to look. No death by grinders. Great. Didn't even check if they were on. Didn't even check. Ah, yes, it's going to start from over there, so that's fine. Just get some plates out of the cockpit, because I just prefer to be floating right now. Apparently I already had some plates. Okay, so what I'm after is, this is the edge here, is probably something a bit like this. So first, here you have, first you have just this line of blocks, okay? And I'm probably going to neaten this up at the front, but that's fine. For now, this is fine. It'll probably just be a little bit more triangular. That's the only way I'll neaten it up, and we'll just make it a tiny bit more triangular. So, line of blocks. And then here, I think it's going to be some sort of rail system. Now, I've never done rails before, so if it goes wrong, that's fine, I guess. So what I'm going to use is the blast doors, because I believe, maybe I'm wrong, I believe they have less of a clipping problem. Like the they can afford to touch other components without damaging them. So I'm going to go and assume that's true, and put a bunch along here. Probably shouldn't assume, makes an ass out of you and me, or however the whole thing goes. And then there's going to be one space here where we can, or maybe 2 spaces, and that'll make the tracks 2 spaces wide. It's difficult. I've never done this before, so I don't know if it works. Yeah, let's go with 1 space wide, right, guys. 1 space wide, like this, and like we'll continue it around here. And this is going to be basically the principle of our tracks. And now what's left is to design a wheel system that can go in here, just fit in this space without causing any damage. And I'm thinking of having basically a car, because pistons blow up my game, so I can't just use pistons to do most of this, a car on either side that moves along and has welders. And those welders are going to be on, again, robotic arms, that has welders that can move up and down and allow it to grind off specific areas. And there's going to be, or rather, build specific areas, because nanites are slow at building. Things that are projected, or at least in my experience, they've been slow at building things that are projected. So I'd like to make that manual. I'd like to have a little car, even if I never ever use it, a little car that's going to come along here and build things. And you'll see that after I build the rails. The rails are the most important thing at first. So I'm going to build the rails now, have them all finished so that I can get started on the car. I may even build the template for the car, or like a model for the car, and then we'll see afterwards how it looks. I wonder if a one-way rail actually may fit in here. So maybe that's one blast door block will fit in this gap without a collision, probably. So that might be what's in here. We'll see. But so far, this is what it'll be. We'll see. We'll see what I can do, but there's definitely going to be rails involved. And it'll probably go out quite far. Probably go out all the way over here to accommodate very large ships. That'll be probably the biggest thing we've built so far, and it'll be the biggest expansion to our base. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I will see you in just a second. Alright, so rails are a no-go, and these guys aren't even, I just noticed. Or are they? Rails are a no-go, and that is because I spent literally like 2 weeks. This episode has taken 2 weeks in production because I kept trying over and over and over here and in creative to make rails work, and it's just not going to happen. Well, not going to happen right now. Everything explodes or crashes my game or is overcomplicated and stops working or only works under very specific circumstances. So, look, since the rails were kind of going to be a gimmick anyway, what I'm going to do is this will be our dry dock. This will be where we're building ships, but it will be stationary. So I've put out a bit of a plan here, and what's going to happen is here in the center is going to be a large, like, I don't know, shipbuilding design section area thing. That's a big complicated name for it to be. I'll probably give that a acronym later. That's going to be there, and that's going to be like the hub of the fact of building ships. And then over here are going to be arms for surveying the ship. One over here, going all the way down to the end here, and then this one over here, obviously. And maybe I will instigate rails at some point, or implement, I guess, is the word I was looking for. I'll implement rails at some point, but for that, and until then, it's going to be like this. Now, I've tried to set it up so that it sort of blends into the asteroid. This guy will come out, probably come down, come out like a pincer here, and then we're going to put the ships in here, or rather the blueprint will be coming from this bit here, and then the middle will be, or rather the actual ship will be in the middle here. And I think that'll suffice. It's not going to be as cool as maybe having rails would be. I like rails. I like the idea of having a ship coming up and down that's feeding resources to the ship. But since it was going to be theoretically mostly made by nanites anyway, this is fine. Maybe I'll do something like making a welding ship for building the projected blocks faster. We'll see. Well, I already have a welding ship. I mean a large welding ship, one that I can leave at the edge of this dock so for speeding up the process of building ships with a projector, because like I said, nanites seem to do it quite slowly. But, well, anyway, that's what it's going to be. This is just the basic outline because, honestly, I kind of got sick of doing the rail stuff. It really has been 2 weeks that I've been trying to do this. So, I'm going to build this out. It's going to be quite large, but that's fine because I really think this is the defining purpose of our station. Getting resources and using it to build a big ship. Because really this is going to be the base that we move off into, like, the planets with. So, I'm okay with this being this huge. We'll try and make it fit in a bit more. But I like it so far, and this is how it's going to be. So I will cut back to here when I've done the full work for making this into a proper area, or maybe just half the work. So I will see you in just a second. Okay, let me just turn around and dramatically reveal. Maybe I'll turn my head off just to do a bum bum bum. Not specifically or in particularly very dramatic, but hey, that's our dry dock. I haven't finished, obviously, these two big holes either end, and that is because I came up with an idea to do with the ends of the dry dock, but I can't necessarily implement it right now because it'd be a lot more work, and this episode has already taken 3 weeks to make, which is, I think, the record for anything. Normally, because I've switched to a schedule where I'm releasing more like when I can rather than every week, which makes my life a little bit more easy. But, well, let me give you a tour. This bit here is the... Oh, don't drift into the wall. This bit here is the back of the station, or the back of this section. It's not very nicely done yet because I kind of was focusing on the front, so I kind of forgot about the back a little bit. But this is the back of this area, and I'm expecting to now I think about it, do a sort of an inner section of the asteroid, which is airtight, that goes all the way around here, or mostly airtight, that goes all the way around here and connects up to the power section, which is doing a good job. So this is the back here. This isn't connected to anything, so I'm not going to do this yet. I'm going to do this as part of a future Let's Play. Now, this section here is the control area. I'm just going to use my jetpack to go a bit faster. Is the control area for the building. So, out here we can get a good view of the big ship being built. We can see the small ship there who's lost its arms. I think that was my fault. I think I took its arms off when I was cleaning the world. And I'm not really sure. Sometimes lately my game's been just breaking for no reason, and that's very annoying. So, this is the little control area. There's going to be, in the future, some computers and some like projectory like stuff here, maybe a few control panels, maybe a few pre-programmed blocks to do certain things with the ship or certain things with the conveyors or the projectors. I have no idea, but this is our control area for this one leads off up into this area here, which I'm gonna, this should be airtight, but there's no oxygen in it yet, so well, once this hole is sealed up it should be airtight, but there's currently no oxygen in it yet, so well, that's probably okay because we've got the big hole. And then if you fly out all the way here will be the idea that I've had, and we're probably going to work on that next week along with building a satellite, which I guess we'll talk about next week. And then we're going to work on this section here next week as well. We've already got some of the components we need. It's going to be, if I can make it work, it's going to be really cool. If I can't, it'll be kind of a waste of an episode, but well, we'll see. And then I need to drill a hole through here to connect back up to this station in the middle. It's not necessarily perfect. It's not necessarily exactly what I wanted, and like I said, it hasn't got rails because of the changes I had to make due to the fact that the rails weren't really working. Oh, I also did some work down here, but it's not finished yet, so we'll finish that off in the next, or one of the next episodes. But yeah, there's our dry dock. I'm actually rather happy with it. I spent a lot of time making this, and which is silly because it's kind of like a prop. It doesn't really matter that it's there. It doesn't change anything about what we're about to do. What we're about to do is build a projected ship, build the mining ship that we put in. So I'm going to put that to go now. Now there's no control panels in here, so I have to do this manually. Is there still a way of accessing this block? Did they take that off? That seems like not very nice. There you go, took a second to clean up my HUD. Let's put down a control station now. Have I got anything left in my inventory? I do. Nice. Okay, yeah, this will get built pretty quickly. We should have a ton of components. There we go, that should be it. Why is it flashing like that? Oh, it's still being built. There we go. That was kind of confusing and very bright. Okay, there is the first control panel. Let's put in the ship. There we go. Let's just move that to a more suitable place. There we go. That is in exactly the right place, I think, which will be quite a surprise, actually. Let's fly out and have a look. Actually, it's probably faster to go around the back. So, this is cool. I want to build it, and I want this to be like this. I'm really happy with this concept, actually. But it can't stay like this forever. It needs to be biggened. It needs to be biggened. It needs to be improved. The things that need to be done. They need to be done to make this exactly perfect. Now let's bring some blocks down for the sake of actually starting the construction here. This should be the center, right? Didn't think about the fact that the projector actually needs to be connected to things in order to build itself, but that's fine. There we go. Much better. And let's just bring this down again. Okay, that should make at least one thing placeable and buildable. It did. Okay, great. Let's just place that. So at least there's one thing that's been started on this ship. Okay, there you go. We've broken ground on this big ship. Let's keep breaking down just a little bit. There we go. Lovely. So this will get built, and that will be really helpful to us. Oh yep, it's doing its job now. That's great. I have some more features that I'd like to add to this shipyard. You can see it's big enough. It's definitely big enough. I've made it large enough to work for us. But what it isn't is like interesting enough or sophisticated enough. Currently, it's just like some steel beams. What I'd like is to have some cool systems, and two of those I'm going to add next week. And I'll just give you a hint. Well, I'll just explain what they are actually. I'm interested to add a small section here at the end and here at the end where I can dock my small builder ship, and I'd like to make a duplicate. And I'm going to try and set it up, if I can, so that the small builder ship automatically puts itself back at the end of these two lines if I'm ever away from it for more than half an hour or something more than, I don't know, 5 minutes, so that I know where to go and find it again. We'll see whether that works though, because I've had bad luck in the past with the what's it called, the auto-navigate, autopilot type thing. So, I mean, we'll see what I'll do, but that's what I want to add to there. I'd like to add a scanner. So what that means is I'd like to add a, it sounds a bit weird, but I'd like to add a device that, I'm not sure how to do this without using pistons, because pistons are going to blow up my game. A device that moves up and down the length of this area and scans to see how far a ship has been built. Obviously I can't have the scanner like move along the ship as it's built, but what I can do is have it stop. And by the way, by scanner, it's hard to say, I mean a projected sheet of blue color, which will look like a scanner, along with a sensor which picks up whether there are any large ship blocks there. And if maybe it doesn't make sense, but I promise you it makes sense to me, and if I can get it to work, that'd be great. I'll have the sensor stop whenever it runs out of ship parts, so that the scanner will move along to the furthest built block, so that we can get like a rough sense of how much of the ship has been built. It's just a little idea I have. I've got a couple of other ideas to try and make this into sort of a more sophisticated dry dock, but we will see what we end up doing. One of the main things that really needs doing is getting rid of this lag, because it's still causing a lot of issues. Okay, I'm going to have to leave it here. It's not everything I want to do this episode, but this episode has been literally, like I said, in the making for 3 weeks, and that's a lot. I haven't put an episode of Space Engineers out in 3 weeks, and that bothers me. So I'm going to leave it here, but I really like what we've got going so far, and I'm really looking forward to improving it some more. For now, though, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. This has been Gesture of None. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave your comments below if you've got any ideas, questions, or suggestions. And then I guess I will see you next time.